Hi, I'm Linda.
I'm Ed, the Dream Team.
Today we're coming to you talking about first-time homebuyer tips. Homebuyers for the first time are so exciting to work with. In fact, it's always exciting when you buy a home. I know when we bought our first, second, even our third home,
Yes.
we always get excited about that. But we want to give you some tips so that you can avoid some of the mistakes many have made in the past that makes that home buying process pretty depressing. So we want to help you by giving you some tips today. Let's get right into this though. The first thing we would encourage a first-time home buyer to do is get a pre-approval. We've taken buyers to see homes that they have absolutely fell in love with. However, they didn't get an approval yet. So by the time they go and get the approval, they find that they can't afford this home. It's pretty sad when that happens to them. So they have to start all over, go back to the drawing board and look for something that they can afford. So before you go shopping, find out how much money is in your wallet, okay?
Yeah. And you mentioned about get pre-approved, but you also have to know your budget. For example, maybe they approve you at $200,000, but your budget is at $150,000. So you have to live within your budget because you don't want to just buy the home and not be able to, do other things.
Don't want to be house poor.
Oh no, absolutely.
So you need to know what your family's wants and their needs are.
Absolutely.
They are different. So, for example, maybe you want a four-car garage for your family. Is that really a need or is that a want? But perhaps you have a family of 5 and you are living in one bathroom, 3-bedroom home right now. And you need an extra bedroom and an additional bathroom in order to live, comfortably as a family. No, that is a need. So be able to distinguish what your needs are and what your wants are. This will make it a little bit easier for you to be happy with what you get.
Absolutely. And know what's a deal breaker. In other words, if there are certain things that, if this does not take place, there's no deal. And so just know what your deal breaker is, because each person have their own deal breakers.
That means you have to be, realistic with what you can afford to buy. Now, I have, he would say I have champagne tastes, but I want to spend a beer budget. Well, ladies, we do that, don't we?
Yes,
but we have to know what we can actually, afford. We need to be realistic about our budget and then find something that we can fit right into that. So be realistic about what we can actually afford.
No money down. Now, there are programs that's out there, and Linda is going to tell you about that later on. But we must say now, there are still upfront costs. For example, appraisal, inspection. See, these are things that you have to pay. And so when we say no money down, that does not include those upfront payments.
See, there are going to be some upfront costs, such as that. So be prepared for that, because when when the appraiser comes to do the appraisal on the home, he wants to be paid at the door. Same thing with the home inspector. They want to be paid at the door before they leave. And we know generally you need some earnest money to show the seller that you're serious about buying this home. So expect to have some earnest money.
Absolutely. And don't go at it alone. For example, you see a house that you want, and you see the sign in the yard. Now, you may think, well, I just call that agent. Well, you could. But remember this, that agent represent that seller. And so you need your own representation. So it's like going to court and expecting the person that's taking you to court, his lawyer, to represent you. Get your own representation.
So it doesn't hurt you. It only helps you to have your own representation. And to be quite frank, as real estate brokers, we go to school every year because laws change every year. So we go to continue every year to keep up with all these real estate laws so that we don't miss anything when we represent you as a buyer or represent you as a seller. So that helps us to know what's available. And as a buyer, we encourage you to get a professional to represent you. Therefore, you don't miss any benefits to you.
Get a home inspection. That is so important. Because let's say you go to the house, you love it, and from what you could see, it looks pretty good. But no, we encourage all of our buyers to get a home inspection. Mm-hmm. You see, we as agents, we are not home inspectors. So we can't tell you this is right, that is wrong. That's where the home inspector come in at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're professionals at that, and they're going to go through every detail of that home. And we always encourage you as a buyer, we encourage you to be present so that you can see what they see, so you can understand what they're saying is a problem. But then you're not there to pick it apart. Your goal is to look for major things, like the furnace, the roof, the electrical. If you have problems like that, then the seller, surely, they'll fix those things. You don't want to buy thousands of dollars worth of problems. So that home inspection is going to be critical. If you have a seller that's not willing to fix those things, then you can walk away.
It's in the contract.
It's right there in the contract.
Absolutely. So
it's vital that you have a home inspection, because just because it looks good doesn't mean it is good. Believe me, I just had that happen with, I have an A1 buyer, and the house looked, beautiful. Looked like everything was wonderful. The home inspection revealed some things that were very major.
Right.
So make sure that you have a home inspection.
Absolutely. So now give them those gems, though. What about those programs that we talked about?
Yes. Now, we talked about some zero down programs. What that means is the lender, depending on which one you use, for example, FHA, if you get a $100,000 loan, FHA often requires 3% down. Let's say it's 3% on 100,000, just to keep the numbers simple. Then they're going to require that you bring $3,000, as a down payment. That has to come from your pocket. But now, if you have a zero down program, you don't have to bring that down payment. The loan is going to encompass the whole amount. Now, again, this is different from your upfront costs at the door for the appraisal, for the home inspection, and for the earnest money. Those are upfront costs. Expect to have those. But when we talk about a zero down, that means you don't have to pay a certain amount on the loan itself. That loan is 100%. And now, there's some wonderful programs out there. I'm going to have some special links at the end of this video so that you can link on and get in touch with those zero down programs so that you can benefit from them. Okay, one of them is VA. VA has wonderful programs that require no money out of your pocket on that loan. They're very good. And then there are many Homebuyer programs that will also give you zero down programs. In fact, Ed had one not too long ago that was wonderful.
Yes, not only did he did not have to bring money to close, a check was given to him. So he was really, really happy. Mm-hmm. So it's out there. You just have to work through it and find it.
Exactly. So that's it today. We hope these 8 tips were very helpful to you as a first-time buyer, second-time buyer, third-time buyer. Yes. These are tips that we can use from here on out. So thank you. And again, subscribe for us. Have a great day. Bye-bye.